Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But I'll come back to you. Break stride, I'm sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Good evening, gamers and other folks alike. It is time once again that I am oversaturated by freaking red. Hold on. What if I pull up some blue? What if it was blue? Never mind. That just fucked itself. Man, I gotta figure out what the color balancing thing is. It's something with the camera. I have to believe it is. But you are listening to Midnight Ramen with me, Michael. I almost went into the radio show thing. I was like almost in that thing. Especially since I'm like editing them now. Actually like put the boots to ass to actually get them done. It's weird that like I'm starting to get into that weird rhythm of like, oh, I'm about to say it again. Again, it's also been like almost 5 years since I've done that specifically. Like the Chaotic Good of Radio show at KMSC. Like that bit I haven't done in a while. And like even to the point that I like the episode that I was on, like episode 14, 15 technically. Like I only came up with it like kind of. Actually, no, I came up with it early on, but I think I came up with it the same time that I came up with the bit for alignment charts, which that was weird. A lot of that one too. Whenever I'm doing editing those down, which you can check those out on Spotify, every single one of them. It's Midnight Ramen, the radio show, and you can also check Spotify for these since episode 100 and YouTube for every single episode of one of these. But back to something with the Midnight Ramen, when I was doing it as a radio show, or editing those now, those are very weird to edit. And I think that segment gets to be particularly hard, especially since after, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 previous segments before it, I'm like already like, man, I just want to be freaking done with this thing. I don't care how I get it done. I just want to be done. And like those things take a little bit of time to do. I think this last one though, I was a little bit more, I think one segment I just let it rip. I literally just let it rip. Almost verbatim. Almost, because there was some breaks I'm like, I gotta make them shorter because this is not good airtime. But other than that, it was a very good episode. It's, again, stay here, but I think I don't know if I ever put them in the description, but like I do, well, actually, yes, I do put them in the description or something like that in the like episodes, something like that. I can't remember, whatever, but those are good. Those are good. But this one is the previous one I just did is kind of deeper because like it's weird. Like 5 years ago, I think there was snow, but it was like kind of already starting to go away, and it was like still late February. And I think that year too, we were like, it was cold as shit, snowing all the time, and I think right around, I have to listen back to the like raw podcast itself, a raw radio show itself, because it was, I think I was still walking in snow. But by the time I think this next episode, which will be the last episode for like a long time because COVID takes effect, and spring break, right? It was spring break, and then it was COVID. But yeah, there's a huge gap because of COVID that shows didn't happen. And when I started to do this batch of episodes for this semester, I was like, well, I thought the date for it was wrong because I had like 1/5 or something like that, 1/15 or something like that. And it was wrong because I didn't read it right. It said 11/15. So when I was starting to edit the episode, I'm like, why do I sound professional? Especially coming off a break. Why do I sound this professional, know what I'm doing, speaking everything I know, just putting my heart into it? And I'm like, okay, something's up. So, and I'm like, why don't I just check the literal date on it? And sure enough, it was like months, like almost at the end of the year instead of the beginning. It was kind of funny. Like, but thank God I actually started doing them. It was the end of January, but then, or kind of late end of January, but then, yeah, I didn't do that many for this, or for the semester, which was like the amount of workload that I had that semester was abysmal because I had some tax stuff. And they say it in one of the episodes, I had some like tax stuff going on, and it made it like I could not sign up for classes, and I could sign up for like most of my classes I should have already had signed up for. I couldn't do because I had tax stuff I was still waiting on, and I had family members being like stupid, like being like, we need to look at them again. It's like, no, we got to submit the taxes or I can't get anything. I would have to pay out of pocket for college. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. Either that, or it was I wasn't going to get anything because of it, or I couldn't even do it. It's so weird. I can't remember it. But it was having to do with taxes and stuff like that, getting financial aid, which I did get a substantial amount given some circumstances. But even so, like my college debt, before I started paying it off, and the interest froze for a while because whatever, and I only have like under $28,000, which is not bad for college. Not bad. And I already paid off like a very big chunk of it. I mean, not like a big chunk, like maybe 5,000. No, I'd have to look at it again. It's maybe like 23 right now. Could be more, could be less. I honestly don't know. But it's a very good chunk of change on that thing. I think it's actually probably less, maybe 22. I don't know, 22,000, because like, given my expenses and the interest and some other stuff, like I'm trimming that thing up, and that is making my tax return so good. That is literally the thing that makes my tax return, especially my federal. My federal tax return is so good solely because of that. And now because I have like other payments and car stuff and that, it's going to be real good. Real good. I am going a little bit lighter on the payments though, because I actually do need to make another payment. So I'll do that. But no, making some money moves, and yeah. Oh, speaking of horrible money moves, even though I'm talking about Magic, I do want to talk about Magic. I had this deck that I had in mind for the longest time, for like months. And Bloomburrow, God bless that set. It blessed me not with one great deck idea, but two. Well, one that I had like for years, and the other I had like a little while after, but didn't think about it at the time. But now I really like it. So the one I had a long time ago was Squirrel Tribal. Oh man. And just with the pre-con, I basically sprinkled some stuff in there, and ooh, it's such a fun deck to play. It's so fun to play that deck. And especially with the set itself having a lot of squirrel like things to help it out, it's real good. But this other deck idea that I came up with is based off of the Jeskai Xenia deck offspring thing with Heir Apparent. And for those who don't know, and I'm explaining it in an audio medium, basically it's a creature that when it enters the battlefield or enters into play, you see however the trigger happens, however many of the same card, also named Heir Apparent, is on the battlefield, it creates that many like 1/1 rabbit tokens. So what you do is you play a Heir Apparent, you get the offspring effect from the commander. So you have two of them, two Heir Apparents, but they both see each other at the exact same time. So the first Heir Apparent sees, oh, there's two of us, including itself. So it creates two rabbit tokens. And then the other Heir Apparent sees, oh, there's two of them, two of us. Create two hair tokens, or two rabbit tokens. And that multiplies. So yeah, it's goes from there. Like you can just basically offspring, like for 4 mana you get like 1, 2, 6 bodies. That's great. That's like amazing. Like that's incredible. And then you get multipliers and like doubling effects and other things like that onto it. Oh boy, it is absolutely buck wild. That's why I'm like so giddy that and just recently, or literally today, that's when the game stores stocked the shelves with the Bloomborough precons. The squirrel deck was like 50, 60, like $60, but the other decks were selling at MSRP. So I got the squirrel deck and the bunny deck because I didn't have those two. And oh man. Oh man. But me and the boys are actually brewing their stuff. I know Kyle at Cryomeo River on social medias, he's modifying his like Karlak deck, and that's to be red-green, and it's gonna be fun. I love that for him. And Cam, otherwise known as Outsider FM on social media, he's working. He's getting that money to get that cardboard, to make that little plastic card, be able to give him more cardboard. And it's red now. Oh boy. 4. That's better. Man. I feel like my voice sounds a little bit deeper. I don't know why. It's not sickness. I don't feel sick. But like I've been doing, I think for church, because I think last week and this week I'm doing like vocalists, and I'm not like inexperienced before. I've done vocal lessons for years. I've been in choir and stuff like that. So like I know how to treat my voice, or respect it enough to not fuck myself. But I don't know what it is. The past 2 weeks, I've been going lower. I do a lot of harmony stuff because like brother in Christ, we don't need as much melodies things. Because melodies, people on melody, the more people you have on it, the worse it gets, honestly. But I'm a huge harmony guy. I've been doing that because when I was in a band back in like high school, I was always doing harmony on most of the songs that we would do. So like, yeah. Man, that just made me think of the song Neither One of Us. I love that song. I'll actually talk about, you know what, that is actually a good conversation we could talk about, because like, yeah, I will talk about that, but like, so I don't know what it is with like the practice today, and I'm not dissing on anyone, but usually for the lineup, it's all like, especially when for my church's worship team, for the vocalists, it's always 3 girls and 1 guy. Like standard. I mean, some weeks you can have like, minus someone or whatever, but it's for the most part usually going to be 3 girls, 1 guy. And then maybe the instrumentalist will sing a song or 2 or back up. Who knows? But it's not really, they don't have to. And yeah, this one, I was like going lower some songs, but some of them I was going higher, and it's surprising. It was surprising. And before, like last week too, like I had nothing, absolutely nothing for like I wasn't singing since 2024 on the team, I don't think. So going to back-to-back weeks, it's kind of funny, but also at the same time, it's like, something has changed, and I don't know what. And honestly, some of the stuff I've been doing is like, I do need to get back into lessons, I think, honestly, a little bit. Not really, but But also at the same time, it's like, I did some good shit here. I cooked. I really cooked. But when I was back in a band in high school, that I was in was Little Chicago, or called Little Chicago, and there's a small not small. I mean, they're a local band. They do a bunch of like 60s, 70s covers. Well, 50s, 60s, 70s. But 60s and 70s covers. Sometimes maybe the 80s, but songs from around the time when Chicago was really in their game, and a little bit before, a little bit after. And it's mainly comprised of a lot older people. It's been around since I was born. They've been a band since by the time I was born. So most of them have, and sometimes the lineup is switching, mainly vocalists, but a lot of the key members are, in their 60s. So 60s and 70s. So it's like they've been doing this for a while, and they've been singing these songs for a long time. And so I'm basically, when I joined, I was more or less a newcomer. And at the time, I was more or less a newcomer to a lot of the songs. Like, just by listening to the radio or whatever throughout my life, it's like, some songs just because you do. But a big factor of it, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, big ones, very big ones, because a lot of the songs, especially the first one, a lot of the songs are from exactly that time. Like Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Like that's a big one. I don't think we do that though. I'm trying to think of one that we actually do. Or Brandy. Oh no. Brandy is one we do. But that's from Guardians 2. And I'm trying to think of other ones that we did. There's one that I did. Oh, Ooh Child. I did that one. I actually was the one that would do that when I was on the band. I would lead that. Even though it was kind of rough. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah. But I did that for multiple years. I think freshman year of college, maybe I did some shows for them. But, once I went to college, I couldn't because I wasn't around. Or, I wasn't around enough to do it. And, like, I feel like I could get back into it again because they always shoot. I see them on occasion, and I know it's like I could say, "Hey, you want me back in?" I could totally do it. But yeah, a lot of solid stuff that like even now I just join in and I know it. And songs that I've never heard and be like, "Oh, okay, and what's this from?" And then it's like it clicks, or just know it. And that's how we got really good at making harmonies. It was like I would just hear the song because we would only have the lyrics sheets, and I would just hear the melody and be like, "Oh, how would I think this would go?" Sometimes songs, were a little bit obvious, but other times I just had to make it the frick up. I got good at doing it, honestly. I think one though that we did that was like a slower song was by Gladys Knight and the Pips. Was Neither One of Us, and I think our drummer would always come up, and it's hard to tell because the drummer and the keyboard, one of the keyboard players, are twin brothers. So it's like you see one of them come up like, "What the fuck?" I see one of them come up like, "I don't remember which." And we'd all surround one mic and do like a 3-part harmony. So do live no life, live no life, live no lives, neither one of us. Ah, man, I love that song. That's a good one. That's a good harmony song. Very good harmony song. And other songs I feel like today aren't as easy to do that with. I feel like a lot of church songs are definitely easy to do that with. But like, like I think a lot of like songs on the radio are kind of hard to do it with. Depending on the artist, that is, without having to like get funky with it. Or they didn't do a track that's like, already doing it, which I know. Or, and I don't mean like, oh, a segment line. No, I mean like an actual line in the song, or lines, like significant amount, not just a line, a moment in the song that there's multiple vocalists or multiple tracks. Yeah. Not a lot, I don't think. I mean, I'm trying to think of like Lean by Hosier is probably, I feel like it would be pretty easy to do that one. But like, ugh. Man. Like, Please, Please, Please by like Sabrina Carpenter, like, you couldn't. Like, it already has stuff. So like, yeah, but also no. That was like kind of the example I was thinking of earlier. It's like, well, yeah, it has harmony, but also it kind of doesn't. Because like it has like, multiple tracks, which yes, that would signify that it is, but also at the same time, I wouldn't. I like doing the jiggly, putting my hand up in front of the camera to fix the color balance just to make it be like, ooh, jingle, 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 like jingling keys. So the back rooms, jingle, 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 back in the day, the back room, jingle, 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 back in the day, the back rooms where I said your favorite word, jingle, jingle, the back rooms, pay attention. This will come up on the test. Jingle, jingle. Man, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. I mean, oh, yeah. I do technically have stuff to talk about. Because, like, at the beginning, before the show started, and we'll play it after the show ends, which is a reason why you should probably listen in to, the episodes, is because you get a premiere. Sometimes you get a premiere. Good listen to Gradience's new stuff. Just before the show, I was playing their newest track that releases today, and I forgot the name, called Sometimes. Like, I kind of like it. It's really good. Like, damn it. I'm going to glaze them at the fucking end, but like, this next album that they're going to put out puts their first to fucking shame. I will say it. It will. Like, sometime, ooh, that one's strong. I think Comeback is okay. Actually, hold on. I'm going to make sure. I'm not going to show anything. I'm going to mute my tab. Actually, I could just... No, I don't need to mute my tab. I'm going to unmute that. I can just look on Spotify. My actual Spotify. And hopefully I don't play anything. I'll do this. Oh, just look at Gradience. So, Used to It's the most played song. I wonder why. Could it be, maybe there's a show that has it on it. Maybe. I wonder, though. Let me see. So, Waiting. I think Waiting. I think Parasite's the weakest. Wait, no. I think Comeback's the weakest. Of the ones that they put out. Twisted. I think Twisted. Twisted and Parasite I think are pretty close together. I think Waiting tops all three of them. I think it also does top Sometimes, but I feel Sometimes is just under Waiting. If I were to rank it, I feel like Comeback is the weakest. I don't know why. It's kind of to me. I think Twisted, you know what? Twisted would be right now, before putting, I think, the top, Waiting, Sometimes, Parasite, Twisted, Comeback. In that order. I think not listening to them right at the moment, but from what I can remember and thinking about it and contemplating it, I think that's my thoughts. Although, and that this will get into a story that we will do after the magic cards. Fuck you. We're gonna do some magic cards right now, but we're actually only gonna do 2. Because the next set doesn't come out for a while. Hold on. Actually, when does it come out? When does Dragon Storm release? When? April 11th? So we got over a month, and I don't think I have enough. April 1st is basically when I'm going to get it because of, pre-release. Actually, what day is that? What day is that? Hold on. I don't really know. March. So April 4th is when I'm going to actually have it in my hands. So 7th is when I'm going to actually be able to, play and open one. Well, not really play, but that's what I'm going to open. Because I do a box opening whenever there's a new set. But yeah. I just kind of want to check that out. Because I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. So, back to the actual ones. I'm going to go a little bit slower on this because, I don't want to, with stream things, I can get more packs, but I don't really want to. They're only opening 2. Because, I feel like it takes up a bit more space. And, I don't know with Final Fantasy what I'll do with it. Because, I'm interested in some of the stuff. There's some good cards that they've already put out. And I could talk more about Magic the Gathering, but I really don't want to. I could, but man. 1, 2, 3, flip. We got an unswerving sloth, momentum breaker, point the way. Ooh, starting column. Get to the. Actually, let's sort these out. Let's sort these out correctly. We got a Thopter token, a Windscarred Crag. We got a foil Shrieking whatever. And we got some dude. We got a literal runner. We got a runner. We got Sita Varma, Mask Racer, which kind of just looks like some mutt. If I'm not mistaken, it kind of just looks like some mutt, but stupid. Oh, Spell Pierce. All right. Second pack. Hopefully we get something cool. Right here, 3, 2, 1 flip. We got a Reckless something. We got the big old motherfucking crocodile. And I messed up the pack trick apparently. We got a pilot token. I see you. Shut up. We got a Windscarred Skirts Barons. Got a foil Night Market. Oh, we got the doggy again. We got the district mascot in the race car art. That actually is worth something. And damn, that's a good card too. I like him. He's so cool. He's so cute. And then Basari. Yes. And the racer scoreboard. But the dog. That dog. What is the dog doing? I tell you what. That dog is doing something. I love it. But yeah, I did. Speaking of that deck, like the deck that I'm like working on at the beginning of the show, kind of more at the beginning of the show, I put a lot of good cards in there. I put Elish Norn in there, Mother of Machines, ooh, Panharmonicon, a lot of like synergy tribal things that it's not really a tribal, but it's also a tribal deck. But ooh, it's gonna go so nutty. Maelstrom Nexus. Maskwood Nexus. Ooh. Ooh. Mirror Box. Or not Mirror Box. I think it is Mirror Box. I could be wrong. I can't remember. The one that basically gives a +1/+1 for your creatures, depending on how many of them have the same name. So, yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Because it would all have this, because even the tokens would have the same name. Excuse me. And that would go for everything, too. Not just, the hair parents. So anyways, back to the actual, what was I talking about? Hold on, I gotta back myself up. I went too fast. Oh, yeah. So, on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yes, it was Saturday. So Saturday, after work, I left at like 2. And after I left work, the boys, and when I mean the boys, the Gradience boys, were like, they were filming their latest music video, or they're filming their next music video, not this one that's coming out tomorrow or today. They're filming next, I think they're next, but probably their last music video for the album, maybe. Because from the way that it sounded like it was going to be the last song, the last music video before they release the album. And I don't want to give like the whole spoilers or whatever, the rundown of it exactly, because, I don't want to, whatever. But, oh no, he's here. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, he's here. Uh-oh. Oh, I got to be careful. shit. Mom. So, I won't say everything, but we were at a boxing gym and it was fun. And after we started filming, or after we got done filming, it was like 7 o'clock. And honestly, I think we were thinking that we were all going to be going to like 10, I think, but we only had one guy till 7. And by that time, I think we're like, man, we're tired, we're hungry, we want to be done. This is a very weird, great time that he just shows that Darian shows up. I don't know. Very funny timing. But I think we all go back to their home. I've been there before. And we get like a bunch of Chinese food. And we just get drunk. I didn't get like super drunk because like I had to get up the next day. But it was fun. It was nice. And by the time that I noticed, when I was like, oh, I should probably go home. I should probably go home. And I thought to myself, nah. So I'm like, all right, I kept drinking. And by the time that I noticed that it was like almost 3 o'clock, I'm like, I should probably start sleeping. And I slept on the couch. And it wasn't on the funny couch. So they have a couch called the Jesus couch, which I don't know the whole story and background to it, which maybe, hey, you know, and I'm looking at you right now, Darian. I'm looking at you right now. If you guys want to be on the podcast one time, I am so willing to do that. Like, whether it be like, not right now, but like, you know, we'll talk. That's beside the point. But yeah, so it's like 3 a.m. But like before that, I'm trying to think what I all had. I know Ford got us like went to the liquor store before picking up the food, and he got like a Truly. He got me like a thing of Truly, which I don't know if it was for me, but I don't like. You guys can keep it if you want. But like I had 3 of those. One shot of Bailey's caramel, which I fuck with that sort of stuff. Like, goddamn. Then like a cinnamon, like kind of like a Fireball, but better, than Fireball. A shot of that, and then like 3 margaritas, 3 vodka margaritas, or yeah, I think that's what that was. Down those suckers. I didn't even like. I didn't give it any time. I just like whoop, whoop, whoop. I think I might have had 4, maybe 5. 4. It might have been 4. When I start drinking, I lose time. I lose count pretty often. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun talking to the gang. And like people I surprisingly didn't know. Which like, how didn't I know? Given the context of like with how many friend groups and, you know, things going around, it's like, how didn't I ever see certain people? I'm like, how even? You know, and like it's, but that's just weird how like things work. It's like, oh, you know them. It's like, oh yeah. But man, it was fun. But yeah, we got to do that. Sure as shit doing that again. Because goddamn, it is fun. But yeah. And I don't know if Darren, you already heard this, but I already ranked every single song so far from the album, or that's going to be on the album, What May Come, blank blank, that I've heard, that have been, you know, that are going to be released online that I've heard. I mean, in concert, you can hear pretty much the whole album. Pretty much. But I don't even know if they're finished. I don't even know. You know what? You're here. You're here now. So I've said this multiple times in the podcast, but the thing is, my favorite song from the thing is fuck. What was it? I had it up. Waiting. I think that should be the closer. The closer to the album. Hear me out. The closer. I don't know if the order's already been done for the album, but in my honest opinion, I think that is the best one so far. And I think it should be the closer. Just because, especially with the music video too, it's like it culminates a lot of the things that the band has been through and done. And I know exactly what it's about. Not, deep in the roots, I'm not in your freaking brains, but like, I know. And honestly, it's wiping the first, like, it fucking wipes. Like, if the call were to fight what may come, like in a fist fight, it's like wipe, easy wipe, first round, like 10 seconds in, just one punch, it's gone. I think that's probably it. That's how good the album I think is going to be compared to The Call. Although The Call does still have its good songs and merits. I think the stuff and work that you guys have put into it is so good. Sorry, I'm glazing this so bad. But also at the same time, I think it is really good. But yeah. And I'm speaking honestly, like, I have said this before. I think it's wiping it. Even before this. I didn't know you were on. I even said these exact things. And that's my opinion. But yeah. The sad thing, I've never, ever, 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 ever listened to Pursuit. Not because I just not because I hate their music, but because I just never have. I don't know why. I've never listened to their stuff. And I love the guys in it too. Oops. Oh yeah. It was definitely a college type album. But I also at the same time, I feel like The Call was definitely college days kind of album. But also at the same time, solid. And it's also figuring out that sound too. And I think you guys found the sound. I think you found it. It's right there too. Let me think what else, what other things I was thinking about with that. Yeah, I think this one is like the sound of the band. Like I would have to compare it to some other bands of the genre, but yeah. Yeah, it's it. It's it. Cuz like even the ones that I think are little stinkers, like Full Stop, I think Comeback is the worst of all of them so far. That's just my opinion. But also on the same point, I think it's a good song. It's got good beats, and it's like, it's sad to say, like, I'm put that at the bottom of the list. Now, like the whole, like, whatever, but like of the ones, I think it is hot take. Though Parasite and fuck, they're both the songs have similar names. Twisted and Parasite go back and forth. Like Parasite, I feel like is maybe stronger, but also at the same time, Twisted goes nutty. But in the music video of Comeback, I find it so hilarious. The way you just like out of nowhere, come back. I can't take it seriously. It's so funny. I'm just like, I can't. But yeah. Color correction. And when I'm opening him another magic pack, I'm not. The worms! The worms! Yeah. The camera was. That look at the camera was supposed to be cheesy. It worked. It was funny as hell. Like, let it be known, I will skip to that part of the music video just to see. Although it is a good, like, the work that I don't want to accidentally drop her name. Well, she's on the music video. The work that Emma does in the music videos definitely shows, and it's like even with that one too. Not like good camera work, good like shots. I don't know how many takes it would have been. It sounded like it might have been like easy hour at least. Especially knowing you guys dink doinking around. But yeah, I think, yeah. Especially, like, I didn't know. I don't want to, actually, I don't want to get into that personal stuff. But no, having her on the team, on the, being a photographer or videographer, an actual godsend. Actual. 4 hours in the garage for that one. Nice. And also, I was in the winter, too. Like, how cold was it in the garage? Actually, then again, it's probably warm because you guys were in there dink doinking. Dink doinking. As the thing I just came up with, like, I think the other day or today or something like that, is dink doinking. And it's just basically messing around. Look it up on Dink Doink. Watch it on Poopy. Look it up on Bing Bong. Have you heard of Bing Bong? But don't subscribe to Foot Flicks. Don't do that. No. Unless if they release the last season of Weird Objects. Weird Objects. Not the Dink Doink. Oh yeah, Dink Doink by Jake Paul. Fuck, I forgot about that. Doink. I think it's Doinking Around. I can't remember what I was thinking. I totally forgot Dink Doink. So stupid. Like, not to get political, but why the fuck is it named Doge? Like, not to get political. I don't want to get just weirdly political all of a sudden, but like, god damn it, Elon. Why the fuck did you name it Doge? Your department or whatever the bullshit thing that's not part of the government, but you claim to be part of the government. Doge. Like, that's all I have to say about that. Like, have some fucking dignity. Anyways. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Please don't turn red. I'm looking at my camera. I'm like, please don't turn red. But I think I might have actually been there the first time Gradience actually performed. Because it was the Battle of the Bands 2020. Oh, with the new drummer. Ooh. The new drummer, though. Huh. I mean, the sound is already there. I don't know what you could really go with it. Battle of the Bands 22 weeks before spring break was okay, so it was. So yeah, oh my god, yeah. I just worked. That was 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago. That's crazy. Then COVID happened. Yeah. Then COVID happened. So the Battle of the Bands, like I was working that event because like I don't know why I was working that event. I think it was because I was on that day or whatever, but like they needed someone to work the audio, the speaker system and whatever to mix and things like that. And I think of the groups that were there, I do think Grady, like it was kind of like a mishmash of like ones, because I think to that point there wasn't really a whole lot of established bands on the campus except for maybe Pursuit. But even then, wait, what? I thought you guys won during. I thought you guys did. Wait, I think I know why. Wait, no, I thought you guys did. Because, like, you guys swept every single time. Oh, we won Dragon's Town 2019. Or 2020. Yeah, that I do remember. But the Battle of the Bands. Gosh, I actually don't remember who won that. But there, no offense, some of the acts were just garbage. I was like, I kind of want to mute this because it was like, and if you remember, you remember. I'm like, I didn't want to be there. That one, oh man, that used music stands. Was it? I think you're right. And it was close. I feel like it was close though, because there weren't many bands, like maybe 5 at most. And I think they did win just because they had covers and things like that. But I believe from then on, I feel you guys swept every single fucking time that you showed up. No offense, I think you did. Because like, duh. Hands down the best. But although you also submitted yourselves as different artists, although one of the times, I know one of our friends, I think they did good too. The girl band, which I don't know if that was the 2021 or 2020 or 2021 that they did that one. Because I know Emma was in that. After that, Dredge placed more. Yeah. Originality. I think the originality one, the originality bit made it more in Gradience's favor. Definitely. And you guys already had a repertoire. By that point, you guys already had a rep. And you had rep. And you had spies within Dragon Nerd Team Group. But I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying. And you had spies doing your audio. Just saying. But no. It was kind of a rigged game. The game was rigged from the start. And even though it was rigged, it was good. But, man, I kind of wonder what it's like now. Come back as MC since we probably will... Since we'd probably wipe after 2020. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because I remember like a couple of other ones. Like, you guys are like special guest. You were special guests because everyone knew either the group is going to be rigged. I think, yeah, it was like the 2021. You guys knew that you were going to win, but like, I think before the show even began, or like, I think before the Battle of the Bands happened, I think you guys were like, yeah, we have too many people in places that we probably should not be doing this or should not be placing in this. And I think the girl band won because they were good. And they didn't have so many spies. was with Commercial Ensemble in 21. I think you guys did one after. I know you did one after I graduated. Maybe, I think, and I know you guys showed up, or I think you guys showed up at 2023. I wasn't there, though, because I wasn't there, but I know you guys posted something about it. But yeah, I still go back there sometimes and be like, I haven't gone in the ballroom, and I know they haven't done anything with the lights. That's one thing as a building manager. I'm just like, those fucking round the section lights, I got so mad with those because those would go out so often. For every event, I need to replace like 2 or 3 of them, get on a tall ladder just to replace them, and then take it down, put the ladder back, and then, oop, another one's already gone. Do that again. It's like, I got really annoyed with that. But I honestly, next time I go up there, I am going to be like, hey, I want to, like, I know I'm not supposed to be in some of these spaces. I do want to see that space because, like, I want to see how they changed it, because the ballroom is, like, big, has proper lighting for the stage now. And that was huge, because when I was there, we had to get, whenever we had a stage thing, we had to do this, the spotlight. And you know that, like, you know this, but the spotlight was so heavy. We had to get like 2 to 4 people to get it out of the box. It was bad. It was so heavy. I hated doing that. I think we had to get 2 people on it, but it was like, even with 2 people, it was incredibly difficult. So we had to get like, I think we had to get 3. Because you also then had to get another person to like, that like, not the boom arm, but like the place that you would do it, put it on, the swivel head or whatever. You also had someone to make sure that it got on there, because God forbid you don't have it on the stand tight enough, and whoop. Yeah. And plus, even moving that thing around was such a pain in the butt. And it had its own weird separate power, and it got incredibly hot. Yeah. Not proud of that one. But I do want to see that space again. But a lot, it's crazy too, because even though we were kind of the more founding, the first real classes to go through, first classes to go through the EIT program. Oh yeah, and Weld is finally being well renovated. They were talking about that when I was still in school. They were talking about that when I was a sophomore, junior, about renovating Weld. Even though they've been talking about it even longer than that. It's not even EIT anymore. Jesus. What the fuck? But like, I know they like definitely changed it up. And I think they more evolved it too, because like now you have the event spaces, which like when I last went there and actually like, when it's the office and whatever, they were like, yeah, part of the curriculum now, or a section of the curriculum or subsection or whatever specialization, is doing event spaces. And that's a huge thing. And being part of, say, Dragon Entertainment Group, or being in like a building manager, or even working at the freaking sports thing, like that's a big thing, because then you'd be working gigs and doing things. It's so good. Like event management, audio production, that makes sense. Event management, audio production, like I would honestly go back to do just some event management stuff, because what I do now, a lot of the things that I do now, I have to it is managing like times and things like that. Like even for like the next couple of weeks, no offense, I'm fucked. But like, it's crazy, like just trying to wrap our minds around that and how it logistically is going to work. Yeah. Like event management and making sure like things work properly, and also teching too. Because like, I feel a lot of people going into the program are going to be want to be working in the studio, which like, a thousand students can go into the studio. Maybe one or two are actually going to be good at it. Case in point. Two, going into like the logistical side, which like, who? Three, going into the event management space, which that's a huge need. Like even like now, I feel like even event spaces that are already going and operating still need people. Four, AV techs, which I feel a lot of the EIT program was basically doing. Just kind of creating a Swiss Army person of, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And I think a lot of crossovers still probably within the program itself, and I would still hope it is, because like, but I feel like a lot more, if I were to say anything now about the program, I think it's still going to ever change. I think what it is now is it's not going to stay the same. It will change. It will always continue to change, and that is a good thing. I do wish that we did. Yes, I do wish we learned more electrical work. I do wish that, because even like the most that I really deal with electrical work and be like, yeah, ohms and amps and stuff like that. Yeah, I totally get it. I get it, but I don't get it. It's like, yeah, maybe it's not a great idea to have like two toasters on a single circuit on an extension. Like, yes, even though it's a 20 amp extension and they're made for that, maybe it's not a bright idea to do max heat on two toasters on a single circuit. Maybe that might blow the fuse. I mean, that's the worst situations I've ever come across. I mean, there's other certain situations like, maybe it's a better idea to have this or that, but whatever. That's besides the point. And yeah, I think another part is learning how to do like soldering and things like that. I think those, yeah, especially when looking into jobs that involve AV installation, even like what I do now, like one of our guys is like, came from the background of AV installation a lot more, and there's a lot of things like I don't think college will teach. No matter what, the program will not teach, not because they can't, but because it's so much information they can't get it in 4 years. There's so much information, and a lot of it too is just learning on the job, like fucking around and finding out. Honestly, I wish I was joking, but a lot of it is like fuck around, find out. But there's some things here and there that I think like I wish the program taught us more, but also be like, hey, maybe you should learn this on the side. You don't have to do it, but it's a good suggestion to do this. Like being a certified AV technician, I can't remember. There's a certain certification that you can get that like makes you an actual like AV technician. Like you can put that on your resume as AV technician, like certified, quote unquote. But also being Dante certified, that's a good thing. Which like, yeah, we did talk about in the program, but we never really got deep into it, and or like to actual things, because like that's a good thing too, that similar to audio, it's pretty much routing. That's all Dante really is. And I started the Dante certification like years ago, and I still haven't finished because honestly the content is so dry. It's so dry. And not to the guy that's like, narrating and teaching it is like boring or anything. He does a good job, but the information is just so dry. Like, oh my God. I just like, it feels like that 30-minute video is 5 hours. Like, oh man. exaggerating, but yeah, saltines. Saltines. Oh crap, look at the time. And we could talk this in the after show. Stick around in the after show. We'll also play the song. And I'll commentate over it, honestly. So to wrap this episode up, if you want to go to twitch.tv/meltdown original, you can go in, you can watch this happen live. You can interact in the chat like my boy Darren from Gradience has been doing pretty much the entire second half of this episode. And change how the conversation is going. I kind of wanted to talk about part 5, but I'll do that in the after show, which you can only watch on Twitch for up to 2 weeks. And until, it goes away and whatever. But on YouTube, you can watch every single episode. Minimally edited. All the way to now. But also, you can go to Spotify where you can listen to every single episode starting from episode 100 because, yeah. And eventually, maybe I'll get in on the other stuff, but it takes a long time. Sorry, I had some wine. No, that's fine. You let the Josh talk. Man, I would let the Josh talk. I'll tell you what. We'll get to that, too. We'll let the Josh talk. Fuck, yeah, man. Thank you to Gradience and Darian, because he's also here, for the use of their song, Used to It, off the album The Call, which is going to be surpassed and beaten to death by the album What May Come. I hope I said that right, because I remember Ford said the title of the album, but I fucking forgot it. But I'm pretty certain that is the correct title of the album. Come what may. Come what may. That's going to beat the living shit out of The Call because it is so good. And yeah, I've already glazed him enough, no offense. But let's look at the time. It is sure as shit not 1 a.m. I mean, it is not midnight here anymore. It is not midnight here anymore. But it is midnight somewhere else. But until it becomes midnight here once again, I will see you later. But until then, bye-bye.
Used to it.